Peace be upon you, and God's mercy and blessings and prayers, and peace be upon Muhammad and all his family and companions. Of course, today my topic is related to knowing the types of i3200 limits. Of course, I was surprised that there are many people who do not know how to differentiate or distinguish between the i3200 limits. Of course, you know, there are many types of i3200 limits. Now, I will explain to you the types available, and those available and in demand in the markets currently. Of course, the i3200 limits are 4 limits currently recognized in the market and are in high demand around the world, of course. Each type of this head has specific characteristics and is designed for a particular machine. Not all heads are the same. Some people thought that the i3200 could be installed on any machine or with any type of ink. Of course, my friends, this is incorrect. It doesn't work, you know, because each machine has its specific ink. The 3200 head, of course, I will introduce you to the available heads, and I will give you a quick overview of them. Hopefully we won't take too long on this. How you can distinguish them between the available heads and how to identify the head you want or the type you need that is available in the market for your machine. How to buy it, or how to know if this head is suitable for your machine and ink or not. Of course, my friends, on a board that contains the types of heads and of course the specifications of each head are listed there. The first thing we explain is the head model. Of course, I have 4 models of the head, which are, if you notice, the i3000 U1. This, my friends, is the U1 head, specifically for UV ink and UV machines, exactly. This U1 head is specialized for UV ink and UV machines, exactly. Moving on to the second type, which is the i3200 A1. This A1, my friends, is what we call the oil-based heads, which is the first ink, the eco-solvent inks, exactly, the eco-solvent. Moving on to the head, Naishi, inks for. Third, which is the i3200 A1, E3200. This A1, my friends, is water ink, which refers to water-based inks or water-based machines that use the A1 head as a model. We come to the fourth head, which is 4720, and this is for DTF ink printers and inks. Alright, my friends, each type has its own printers and inks. This all belongs to a specific printer and specific ink. Not all of them, of course. They are almost similar. If you notice, all the heads resemble each other, but there is a significant difference in terms of manufacturing. For example, the UV is manufactured for UV. The E1 is manufactured for oil-based heads, and the E1 is manufactured for water-based inks, and the 4720 is manufactured for DTF. Of course, everyone with a specific machine and inks should not mix these with each other, my friends. Take this into consideration. It is impossible for it to work. Because this one has a board, and this one has a board, and this one has a board setting. Each one has a board setting for a specific head. Alright, my friends, let's talk about the specifications of the heads. Let's talk about the first one, which is the U1, and of course its ink type is UV. Alright, the type is the same for all of them, which is what you have, called TFB, known as the micro. As print heads, they are all the same under one name, which is the core micro DTFB. This is the specific type of head. Now, let's talk about the i3200, specifically the width, depth, and height of the head. The weight is the same for all, 82 grams. The number of nozzles is also the same, 3200, even up to 4720, following the same principle. The nozzle degree or the row of nozzles is 8 inches, and this is, of course, in the descent. These are in the descent, the nozzle degrees are in the descent, Exactly. You have 8 rows of nozzles, known as 4, each with 2, releasing 8 lines. The nozzle precision ranges from 300 NPI to 600 NPI. Exactly. Of course, this head only accommodates 4 inks, which are CMYK. Exactly. The DTF 4720 has 2 heads, one dedicated to white, and one dedicated to colors. There is one head that the first 4 fit onto perfectly, but it is only 4720. Now let's talk about the actual print width of the head, which is in fact the maximum in printing. 33 millimeters exactly. It is 3 centimeters and 3.8 in inches, which is 1 inch and 33. This is the print width. Now, let's talk about the droplet ejection performance. For me, it's approximately similar to everything else, meaning there aren't significant differences. Regarding the 4 limits, for me, everything is similar. The viscosity range we have, the ink viscosity range, goes from 5 to 7 in UV, in eco-solvent and in water-based. And for DTF, it all goes down to 3 to 4 based. This is the viscosity ratio that comes out of the nozzle heads. Now let's talk about the positioning mechanism. This is the positioning mechanism which refers to the dot pattern that comes out of the nozzle. Is it jagged or is it straight? Of course, it has slight jaggedness and is not perfectly straight, but it's something minor, almost negligible in the micrometer range. Alright, let's move on. These are the correct measurements for the entire head. In short, I talked to you about the i3200. Of course, keep in mind, the head you purchase must be specific to the ink and the machine. Because some people asked me, thinking that all heads are the same, or that there are 2 types, and it would work. Of course, it doesn't work that way. Each head, each printer, and each ink must be purchased specifically for it. The same head, and the same ink that works with the head. Alright folks, thank you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and like the video. As we mentioned and repeated many times, your support for our channel is our greatest success, God willing. See you in another episode, and peace be upon you, and God's mercy and blessings.